Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for June the 15th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This reading could play out today. Over the next several days, this reading may or may not be for you. This reading is also not sign specific, so I do ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate, leave behind the rest. We're going to talk about the energies first. We're in this second 666 portal gateway. We have 3 666 portals in the month of June. So we had the first one on the 6th, and today's date breaks down to 666, June 15, 2022, 666. So it's a huge, huge healing portal taking place in the energies today. 6 is always the journey to balance and harmony, and 666 breaks down to 18, which further breaks down to 9, numerologically speaking, which is all about completion. So many of us are coming into our high priest, our high priestess gifts. We're closing out some major cycles. I had a busy day yesterday with a couple of readings, one in the States and another local. And so the energies yesterday afternoon after the personal reading I did in person was just phenomenal. Major states of transcendence. I always love connecting with high vibration soul family members, and so the energy was just absolutely beautiful last evening for myself. And when I went to bed, I went into all kinds of astral travel. In my sleep, I woke up with a very stiff jaw. So I know I went through a huge clearing in my sleep. And once again, I woke up this morning with this beautiful energy of my counterpart surrounding me. So we got this 666 portal energy, and we have some astrology aspects which are indicating dealing with some self-worth issues. So North Node conjunct Venus, there's a lot of karma playing out in the energies with Mars transiting Chiron. The energy is not very pleasant because we're kind of being forced to deal with that big elephant in the room. Anything that's been swept under the carpet, swept under the rug that we've not wanted to deal with, well, it's coming to the surface with a vengeance in order to find that balance in our life. So with any North Node aspects, it is an indication of a karmic story playing out. We're all being asked to get out of that comfort zone, out of that South Node, those patterns that we learned, that we brought over from a past life, and we're kind of being pushed out of that comfort zone when it comes to stepping into our true karmic pathway. And it doesn't matter if you're a Taurus North Node or not. We're all feeling this energy, and we do have the North Node aspecting Uranus, and we're going to have that energy exact at the end of July. And so this intensity is going to keep building. We're in the precipice of all of these awakenings taking place within the collective. So I think with all of these Venusian aspects coming up in the energy today, we're all being asked to get a plan in place when it comes to our money, our finances, taking care of our physical appearance, our health. And Venus energy is always, always linked to love and relationships. So there's some insecurity issues coming up, I feel, or issues related to self-worth or lack thereof. And so Venus energy is suggesting that we kind of got to look at how we're loving ourselves. Are we loving ourselves the right way? Are we showing support to ourselves? Because I do feel that's an essential part of the spiritual journey, is mastering self-love and instilling those solid boundaries. So during this conjunction with the North Node and Venus, I think you can really expect to go into this reassessment of your relationships. And if you're in a relationship, is it the right relationship for you? Because if it's the right relationship, you should be flourishing financially. Everything should just be flowing very smoothly. And if it's not, then I think get ready for some big changes to kind of happen in the energies today because of the karmic story that's kind of playing out. And with Mars transiting Chiron, the energy is not very pleasant. So we're kind of being asked to go within any wounded masculine energy as well. And whether you're a woman or a man, we all have an inner masculine. And so issues related to your own personal Chiron aspect in your natal chart is likely coming up to be addressed. And so during this time period that we're kind of sifting through, any wounded energy related to your Chiron aspect is likely going to come to the surface when it comes to being forced to deal again with any issues you've swept under the carpet, because we cannot fully ascend on the journey without going into what we've not wanted to look at. So I think get ready for feelings of fear to be triggered related to any conflicting energies that are kind of taking place. And it is this push, this universal push, to stop avoiding confrontation. We cannot avoid confrontation. And I feel the universal energies are kind of backing us all up. And if we really want to pursue those healthy, spiritual, purpose-fulfilled goals, we're going to have to, take back our personal strength, our spiritual willpower, and we're going to have to acknowledge these weakened spots from within in order to release any passive aggressive behaviors. And so this is a negative behavior to be passive aggressive. And so any issues coming to the surface when it comes to dealing with problems that have been swept under the carpet are gonna come forward, because we cannot fully let anything go until we take that long, hard look at what that wounding is for us. And so I feel it's time to get rid of all of these painful thoughts, this negative belief system that's kept us stuck rooted in these unhealthy cycles. And I feel it's just time to let go. We also have some moon aspects today that are kind of bringing any simmering anger to the surface. We got the moon square Jupiter. The moon has now transitioned into Capricorn. So what I was kind of shown in astral travel is we went into all of these higher energies, these states of transcendence, and Capricorn is like, boom, we're going to ground it now. So when we ground all of these ascension codes, and there was a lot of codes that came in yesterday for myself, when we ground these energies, then we can give way to this general feeling of being at ease. So when we're fully grounded in the present moment, rarely do we play into any dramatic events. So the energy might bring forward some changeable moods, changing your tastes, and I do feel any present difficulties arising, especially if you've had some wandering eyes within a relationship. And with the moon square Mars, that's a very difficult aspect that we're working with. So that's going to trigger anger to the surface, any simmering anger to the surface. So extra care is going to be needed in the energies if you want to avoid causing harm or hurt to another, or, if you want to avoid being hurt. So any anger being triggered is related to emotional pain. And most of us feel this emotional pain within our physical body. We feel it physically. And so you might be experiencing a little bit of soul shock if you've come into a recent revelation when it comes to some core wounding that you're working on clearing. So with the moon also forming a trine to Uranus today, this is a perfect opportunity to make those home life changes, those domestic changes, and to escape any karmic contracts that just aren't serving you. And with the 666 portal gateway, we're all getting that extra support from the universe at this time. So we're going to jump in with some cards, guys. We're going to see what needs to come through for the collective today. New outlook, beautiful self-development. And the only way to go in to honoring the pathway of self-development, growth, expansion, and empowerment is by going in to these neglected aspects of self, going into the wound, nurturing the part of yourself that was rejected or neglected, and to embrace this growth process. We never, ever, ever stop working on ourselves. We get to a certain level on the journey, and then we get presented with the next cycle of lessons. So I think get ready for a huge perspective shift. And I do feel it is the energy of lifting the veil of illusion. There's been a lot of illusions lifted recently. So, we've all been re-examining our life, our relationships, any situations that, were needing to be addressed over the last several weeks with some of this retrograde energy. And I feel we're all kind of looking at life a little bit differently right now. And I feel with all of this intense energy, we're all kind of being asked to share. When we learn valuable life lessons, when we learn the mastery of going into that core wound and healing that core wound, we kind of get that push from the universe to share the knowledge that we have gained and attained through all of our life experiences. And so someone out there definitely can benefit from the lessons that you've learned. And I also feel maybe somebody is learning a valuable lesson and getting ready to reach out and share what they've experienced. But I feel we're in the precipice of this major self-development. We do have Jupiter in Aries, and so we're all going through this this period of time of self-expansion. Aries is about the self. With Chiron in Aries, it's all about that self-identity wound. Whether you have a Chiron in Aries or not, we all have a self-identity wound. And so it's a big year when it comes to finding balance in our own lives in order to call in everything that we truly deserve. So let's see what else needs to come through with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck today. I did just notice 11:11 on the timer, and so the precipice of the massive global awakening is taking place this year. 11:11 is usually the first awakening code that we notice when it comes to number synchronicities. And so we're all kind of being asked to find the signs and the synchronicities. So that's just a confirmation from my guides. Follow the number syncs, follow them. When you're in the flow and you see all of these number syncs, for me it's been 777, 888 has been coming out a lot recently. The numbers are guiding you towards finding that deeper meaning. And in the beginning of my journey, I really studied numerology and understanding the vibrations of certain numbers and how it links with the tarot. Each tarot has its own vibration number linked to it. And so when you can really understand how the universe communicates with you, then you can be really open. You can really open up to all of the signs and the synchronicities, and they kind of guide you along your path to reach this place of meaning and purpose. And so we're all kind of integrating all of these activations that have recently come in. And so there's this massive integration of self taking place collectively when it comes to our soul's purpose individually and our collective mission at this time. And so self-care is going to be needed as we go through this integration process. So you're really going to want to take extra care, infuse your earthly body with positive choices in your life, and really pay attention to anything that's become unhealthy, because we're kind of being asked to go through this major purging in order to reach that state of zero, the alignment of non-duality, non-polarity. And so get ready to find your tribe. We're calling in our true soul tribe, and anything that no longer resonates with these higher frequency activations is kind of dwindling, you know, out of our physical reality. Purge and cleanse. I cannot make this up. So it's not just some elements when we go through this awakening process. It's like everything out of whack, everything out of alignment, everything not in you know, conjunction with this higher frequency has to go. A lot of things leave our lives when we go through this awakening process. All of the negative people, we have to reassess all of our negative behaviors, and all of this has to be purged. And that includes repressed pain in the heart. So get ready to release some repressed anger. And repressed anger really is just repressed grief. So be open to receiving. In order to receive the clarity that's trying to come in for all of us, we do have to quiet the mind, and we do have to release any blockages within our chakra body. And so there's this huge release taking place in order for us to kind of get in the flow. So yes, collective transformation, without a doubt, shedding all of these negative aspects, negative layers of our life. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, and you get to a certain point and you peel back another layer, and it is like a spiral dance. And so a lot of external factors are playing out in the energy when it comes to this releasing of all of these external factors that are blockages when it comes to stepping into our true purpose this life. So we're manifesting. We are manifestors. Many of us are master manifestors. And so, you know, when we learn the law of attraction, when we practice the law of attraction, when we master the law of attraction, we can call anything into our lives that we desire if it's in alignment with our purpose. And so we all have the ability to create what we desire to see in our physical reality. And so we do this through our thoughts. So pay attention to your thoughts. A 666 portal energy is really saying, yo, pay attention to your thoughts. We are in this rapid manifestation portal. This month is huge collectively. And so meditation is really going to serve us all well as we come into this deep awareness of self. Many of us are coming into this spontaneous awakening of this self-actualization in the energies. And so positive daily affirmations are really going to help us when it comes to calling in our soul tribe and our, you know, our soul partnerships that we're here to work with. And so understand your weaknesses is a big message with that Chiron aspect. And then you can understand your strengths as well and how to integrate the lessons to kind of step into these higher frequency timelines. And I got a couple cats fighting in the background. You might hear them. The new kitty cat is adjusting well, but the other ones are still growling. So somebody's got to shed some pride and some ego here. Maybe somebody's planning on coming to see you and visit you, but you know, their pride, their ego is telling them they don't have the determination to do it. But you know, there's loyalty here, and I do feel relationships and commitments are coming up, especially with Saturn in retrograde in Aquarius. It's all about our individuality, Aquarian energy. It's about our mission, really understanding these unhealthy, addictive relationship patterns. Many of us go into relationship cycles as light workers, and we can't understand why we go into these low vibration patterns. And you know, many of us go into addictions when we're in these unhealthy relationships because it's easier to lower your vibration than to kind of walk away. Many of us fear being alone, and that is all stemming around low self-worth. So any unhealthy patterns are coming up to be addressed. We're all being asked to read between the lines, especially when it comes to people that we're dealing with where they might have some questionable motives. But this is where we embrace this change. You know, we can't live life to the fullest when we're masking our pain all the time, when we're playing into addictions or codependencies or trauma bonds. We're not living our best life. So it is like death to these unhealthy patterns is what's coming through, and there is a new dawn. We are the bringers of this new earth energy. We are the bringers of this new dawn. And in order to do that, we kind of do have to embrace this change in our lives. So we'll see what else needs to come through with the Illumination Oracle deck. But I feel we're all getting ready to choose to take charge of our own destiny is another energy. Maybe you need to take a little break, a vacation. I think many of us have been really navigating carefully through a lot of roller coaster challenges recently. And then we get this loss. So another thing I've really noticed is there's been a lot of death energy coming up in the collective. And so it's quite possible that somebody has recently had to say goodbye to a loved one. But I do feel we're clearing all of these ancestral timelines, right? And so you might feel the need to go visit a crossed over loved one, maybe go to the cemetery and have a conversation with somebody crossed over that's likely a spirit guide. But I feel we're kind of just being asked to be with the energies, to take a little step back, to, you know, realign ourselves, to go within, to disconnect, to relax. And it is about going into facing all of this past pain, all of this past grief. Many of us, you know, go through the journey as part of this awakening, and many old selves of us are buried in the past, right? I know for myself, I've transformed myself many times over on the journey, and I've been many different facets of who I was, and I've kind of integrated all of these different personalities into who I am today, right? So it's like making peace with the past, all of these past versions of yourself that are no longer serving you. And so with the hiding the truth too, those addictive patterns, that's you know, another energy of hiding the truth, hiding your true unique self. And so we're kind of being asked to shed all of these negative vices, to, you know, take off the mask. And we have to grieve these layers of who we are that no longer resonate. And so it can be a very painful process. I also see in the energies today, somebody has been hiding the truth of missing you and regret. So there's definitely something that's been swept under the rug that's coming back to the surface to be dealt with. Somebody I feel has a lot of shame. Like, I notice her head is down. It could be a woman. It doesn't have to be. There's a lot of pain coming up when it comes to somebody that's been hiding the truth of how they really feel. And so I do feel this energy of honoring your emotions. If you miss somebody, if you have some regret, reach out. Reach out. You don't want to live life with any regrets. That's one thing I've learned as well on the journey. So if you miss somebody, reach out and tell them. You know, we can't erase what we've gone through, but we can choose to do better each and every day. So I kind of feel somebody is making plans to come forward and seek that forgiveness. Maybe they're waiting for you to send the offer or the invite, and maybe they realize they've been putting this off for a long time. And so I do kind of feel somebody is kind of asking their angels, their angelic team, for some advice, for some guidance. I feel somebody here has been praying for the answers when it comes to making plans, when it comes to maybe going towards somebody that I think has waited a very long time for an apology. I just want to throw it out there. I just want to say, you know, a true blue narcissist, they will never ever apologize. So don't waste your breath on that. Don't wait around for a narcissist to come back around and apologize. They will never ever admit that they are wrong. But you know, if this is a deep spiritual connection, I feel somebody is you know, praying for that guidance when it comes to somebody that's been waiting for, you know, a reconciliation or some accountability. But I think there's fear attached. There's fear of being accused. I know fear of somebody pointing the finger and saying, I told you so. Why didn't you listen to me? I told you so. So I think working through some fear. I do feel there's even a possibility of maybe some children that have been abandoned. And that is also going into that deep inner child wound, that Chiron wound, and healing that inner child. So somebody's inner child is screaming at them to let me out. Can you heal this inner child, please? Because that's a block to this emotional intimacy. We are here to build these deep, intimate spiritual connections with another. And intimacy is not about sex. Intimacy is about emotional vulnerability. Yeah, sex is great, but, you know, who wants to have sex without love? That's not going to be fulfilling. Then you're just going to keep creating these negative cycles, absorbing all of these toxic traits from the people that you're being sexually intimate with if they've not done their own healing. And so true intimacy is authenticity. It is about taking off the mask and laying it all out on the table without fear of rejection. So I do feel apologies are coming. Apologies are due for many who have been kept in the dark when it comes to a spiritual connection. And I feel there's definitely somebody here that broke your trust, and they're trying to figure out how to come back after a very betraying situation. But I think the rewards and the blessings are on the other side. And Saturn always does bring that gifty. When you master that lesson, especially if you're going through a Saturn return, there's a reward at the end for closing out these karmic cycles. And so that's what we're striving towards with all of these energies. So let's keep going with the Quantum Oracle deck. Commitment and travel. So yeah, somebody preparing to travel. To make plans to bring forward an offer of a commitment of some sort. So the signing of a new soul contract is what I'm feeling. And I'm like, look at this guy. He's like, he's dumbfounded. He's like, yeah, that's my girl. That's my woman. But he's ready. He's ready. And it could be a woman or a man. It doesn't matter. So there's going to be an event or a shakeup today. We got a 5 and a 3. So we're manifesting these Trinity unions where we're in alignment with our mind, our body, and our soul, and we work together with God's source energy to create these stable foundations. And so some kind of illumination. Maybe somebody's recently reviewed their higher soul contract or some sort, something like that, but somebody's getting ready to travel. So, and maybe they're packing up lightly. Maybe somebody's going to be knocking on your door, a visitor, and it's going to, you know, maybe shake it to the core, and you're going to have to make a decision. So we'll see what else the Quantum Oracle has to say when it comes to these energies today. I'd only like 3 cards, please. So new supportive connections, and that definitely goes along with find your tribe. New creative endeavors. We're here to work together. We all have our individual missions, but we're all here to work together. So it is like this reunion of souls when it comes to our soul tribe. And I feel we got all of these flipped out in reversed. So somebody's been going back and forth when it comes to traveling towards either new supportive connections. This could even be committing to yourself, commitment to self. But I feel this realignment because somebody has, you know, not been willing to make a decision. And when you stay stuck in limbo, in back and forth limbo, the universe kind of has to come in and flip you on your head, flip you upside down for this realignment, because there is no happy success in your life if you never go after what it is that you desire. So I do feel somebody here that very well could be hitting like a rock bottom of some sort. There's no happy success in their life. They're needing to stop with this chronic indecision. They're really needing to make a decision to travel towards happy success, these new supportive connections. And we're going to need to trust in our intuition and our manifesting capabilities. Something is being manifested in the energies, and somebody's really needing to call on their spiritual strength, because there has been a recent shift in these states of consciousness. So expanding the mind, expanding the way we think, expanding, you know, our creative mind. And I feel crossroads when it comes to a cycle coming to a close. The decrease for me is, you know, we've been in this energy of the last couple of years of struggling and going through the dark side of the transformation, the dark side of expansion. And now we're all being asked to kind of step into the light because this cycle is coming to a close. I also feel an energy of somebody that's been stuck and it feels like everything is slipping through their fingers in order for them to release a foundation that's not solid, in order to embrace this newfound energy. So a spark, an ignition of worthiness. This is my, are you worthy? Because you are all worthy of unconditional love. And so this deep awareness of knowing that we are deserving of harvest energy, of abundance, but we have to become that on the inside first. So what is it that you need to let go of? Where have you been deceiving yourself? I also feel somebody is needing to release, you know, maybe a social group, some friends, some family. There's a lot of gossip here. There's somebody that, you know, you cannot trust. I think an activation in the heart letting you know there's some people that you've been dealing with that you can't trust. They've been deceiving you. They've been, you know, talking about you behind your back, whispering about you behind your back. So I think get ready to evaluate some people. This event is going to shake somebody up. And there's going to be some exposure when it comes to somebody that's definitely not on your team. A friend disguised as an enemy, disguised as a friend. And so there is divinely guided change here, and the Ascended Masters are pushing us all forward to release this consciousness of lack. And so it is that mirror energy, and that's so interesting. That song came on the radio yesterday. I haven't heard it in a while. Is Mirror by Justin Bieber. And so who or what is mirroring your triggers, your weaknesses, to get you out of this state of lack? We were all made to thrive. We were not made to struggle. There is more than enough to go around for the entire collective. And so There's a lot of stuck energy, and I feel we're all going to get blasted out of that comfort zone. So get ready for some new supportive connections to be called in, because we're all mending these broken bridges, all of these past pains. And we're going to have to close out an unfinished symphony. We can't step into that new chapter until we fully made peace with the past. And that doesn't mean you have to have that face-to-face, although sometimes that's nice. But where do you need to create closure in your life when it comes to something that has caused you pain and discomfort? Because there's a brand new life around the corner, but it's going to require action. It's going to require taking charge of a situation and finding your determination and your willpower to set that plan into action. We can make plans all we want, but we have to co-conspire with the universe, and we got to actually take action towards our manifestations. So I feel mending in order to tap into our own mystic healing capabilities. With the unfinished symphony, it is at 10. We are closing out these cycles and stepping into this new life. But you're going to want to be that observer, to take a step back and to observe everything. That's what the hermit, that's what the high priestess does. They observe, oh my God, and the yin, and they receive. And so I feel this beautiful balancing of masculine and feminine energies coming together. So this could be a divine counterpart union coming together, or this could just be the blending of your own inner feminine and masculine. So first we got to learn how to receive. So many of us do not even know how to receive love. My daughter does a program at the hall in town with all of the other spiritual women that I'm connected with. And this week's session, we did a singing bowl session with my friend Lisa at the Spirit Lounge. Beautiful energies. And you know what I noticed was all of these young ladies that are in this program, and it's to help build their self-esteem and their self-worth and to tap into their own magic. You know, young girls my daughter's age, and they don't even know how to receive a compliment without feeling uncomfortable. And how many of us get very uncomfortable and don't know how to receive a compliment? So I feel it is about balancing the two. So many of us give, do. We forget to be open to receiving. And so it is the balancing of the inner masculine and the inner feminine when it comes to this union of self. So we got the 1 and the 2 equals the 3, which is that Holy Trinity union. And the new life here is a 39 breaking down to a 12, breaking down to a 3. So it is about mastering your lessons, honoring your inner wounded feminine, healing that inner feminine wound, healing that inner masculine wound, and knowing that you have what it takes to go the distance. So we're going to get just a couple more oracle messages, and we will jump in with the tarot. Oh my God, the blue flame. Where have you been called to journey to? Spontaneous awakenings are happening. A lot of light body activations. And it is integration time, because we've all been called to action. Where has your soul been called to journey to? Because it's time. It's time to do the deep work. It's time to step it up on the journey is another message. So we're going to get 3 cards with the Starseed Oracle deck, and we will jump in with some tarot, guys. But I know the energy is very intense. So I feel many of us are also coming into this awareness of our service-based mission. And so this is where we're at. There's many that have recently just been cracked wide open, hitting that rock bottom. And you know, rock bottom is the place where we do our deepest soul growth. So somebody here is being asked to surrender to the alchemy of the journey. And a true magician, a true alchemist knows how to integrate and master these soul lessons. So I do feel a recent awakening. And we're being asked to follow our intuition before it makes sense. And so I kind of feel action time. It's definitely action time, because the pulse of Mother Earth is calling us all to go through this integration. So we're being asked to be those way showers, to light another's light, to pave that new path for these new Earth timelines. So where do you wish you had a leader in your life? It's time to be the leader of your life and to be the leader for others that you wish you had. And so many of us are coming into this remembrance of our soul blueprint, activating our blueprint this life, and stepping into taking charge of our destiny. So you might want to just slow down and feel the pulse of Mother Earth. Spend some time in nature today, although here it's supposed to be like 40 degrees. So I know I don't want to be spending any time outside in that heat. I'm not a huge fan of the heat and the humidity. So, and if you do spend some time outside around the local area, you're going to want to stay super hydrated, okay? So, illumination of where we need to plant these seeds is what's coming through. This is a time of joy and success for the collective. Many of us are coming into these brilliant epiphanies, this illumination of where we need to embrace new magical opportunities to take the lead of our life. Leo energy, sun, it's vitality. It's, you know, our willpower, our strength. It's linked to the solar plexus. And so whatever plans you've been making, they will work out perfectly. But I think we got to kind of send gratitude to the divine. And we got to figure out where we're planting these seeds. Because seeds well planted and all of the efforts we put in with the yang energy will be rewarded in the future. We got to show the divine gratitude, and we have to do this every single day as part of our spiritual vocation. And so patience is a virtue on the journey. Patience, patience, patience. And so right now I feel it's a time for resting, making plans for the future, and releasing any unnecessary worry. And perhaps seeking out that wise counsel, maybe with a Taurus, a spiritual healer, spiritual leader. This is also the energy of following your divine guidance, the Hierophant, stepping into that highest commitment of self. And so when we embrace unity from within, that's when we can call in our spiritually minded community, our soul family. And so the divine is always there to help. It's always there to bring forward the answers, but we have to go into, you know, releasing all of these traditional methods that religion has taught us. And we got to stop comparing ourselves. So there are new ideas coming forward, balanced new ideas with the justice. But we're going to have to be impartial and objective. And we have to be willing to stand up for what it is that we believe in, guys. So what do you believe in? You can try and be fair and look at all sides of a situation, but the bottom line is we have to be willing to release people that do not receive our love or reciprocate our love or create drama in our lives. And we have to always be certain to be coming from a place of authentic integrity. So what is it that you need to move on from? What is it that you need to release? Because we're all seeking to experience something more rich and fulfilling in our lives. But in order to do that, we have to embrace this spiritual quest. We have to choose to make these big life changes, because when we don't choose to make them and we've been called, we're going to get smacked in the face with a bunch of upheaval and a bunch of towers to redirect us in order to get us to shift our priorities. And so something is needing to be walked away from if you want that balance in your life. So you might want to spend some time today going within, figuring out what seeds you want to plant and where, because look at that, brand new beginning. If you can dream it, if you can believe it, then you can bet your ass you can manifest it, but you got to believe. And so having faith is a big part of the journey. There's a fresh new start here. There really is, guys, but we got to push aside those fears, and we got to be willing to take that leap of faith is another message. If you never go after what it is you really desire, then, you know, you're the only one fooling yourself. So, Queen of Swords. This could be somebody going through a divorce, very career focused, somebody that's, you know, healing from some past pain. Definitely a single energy here. And it's really time to release anything that's no longer serving us. It's time to get those firm boundaries in place. And that is a big part of self-care and self-love, is honoring those boundaries. Yeah, brand new beginning here, guys. Follow that yellow brick road. We could have a feminine here coming into an abundance of money. but I do feel good fortune, maybe a new career opportunity for somebody coming through, service-based career. Can you hear the cats growling? They're not too happy. They've been adjusting pretty good, but yeah, I think get ready for some secrets to come out. We just got the High Priestess in reverse. I think, yeah, there's this energy of a revelation of some secrets. And so clarified with the Eight of Wands. Get ready to receive some communication. Get ready to receive some communication. Unexpected, rapid communication. I think, yeah, somebody that's not been talking, maybe for up to 8 months, is about to come in because they're ready to take some action. The time is now for action. To maybe share something, and maybe this is somebody that left you out in the cold. Somebody, I think, is reaching out for some help, some assistance here. Maybe to somebody that is self-employed and doing very well. Pisces energy, doesn't have to be, but I do feel somebody's coming in with a lot of communication. They've got a lot going on right now, a lot of stress in their life, and they're learning to multitask, but I feel travel. After a period of somebody turning inward and meditating, developing their intuitive gifts, and yeah, they're rushing in to lay down a long-standing burden for sure. Yeah, this has been a long process. Somebody here is in need of balance in their life. And I feel maybe they've been struggling with some stress, some health issues, and they want to come in and release a burden because they've been having nothing but challenges in their life. Somebody's been keeping their own foot stuck in the wheel of change. And so delay after delay, tower after tower, a series of unfortunate events, because there's been resistance to this expansion journey. So if you want positive change in your life, where do you need to go into bringing that elephant out in the room that you've not wanted to talk about? It is about addressing something that's been heavy on your chest for a long time. And I think if you want that fresh start, if you want things to turn out better in your life, it might require offering an apology of some sort to somebody that you've hurt in the past, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I think introspective energy really has served somebody when it comes to this fickleness. And maybe this could mean a sudden love affair. Somebody rushing in with an apology, wanting to sweep you off your feet, get you to fall in love again. But there's been a lack of balance. And there is a situation that needs to be addressed when it comes to somebody that was just unwilling to make a decision in the past. And so I feel this energy of following the heart instead of people-pleasing. And so we can't keep pretending there's no problem, guys. So I feel maybe this apology is surrounding some third-party interference, but there's this confident, passionate, charismatic energy coming in, and I think it's been restless. And there's definitely an event or a shakeup that's going to require immediate action to be taken if you want that celebration. I feel joy is on the way, guys, but you got to stay focused. Somebody is trusting their instincts, and they're coming in for a passionate relationship, quite possibly an engagement of some sort, and they're choosing their own soul family. And so I think a solid offer, and I think a clean slate. Somebody's ready to get to work. They're going to come in dependable, and maybe in the past they were mischievous. And I feel somebody is getting ready to embrace a new level of study as well. If you notice on the card, there's growth. There's the bunny indicating luck, fortune, birth, rebirth energy, and all of these books. It's time to embrace a new level of spiritual study. It's time to get to work. And that Ace of Pentacles is, behind her. But, this will lead to something magnificent. But it's going to take a lot of action, a lot of hard work. And it's going to require balancing a situation from the past, I feel. So get ready to reach a level of successful compromise and patience. And so what's hidden below the surface is this ego energy, the devil, Capricorn. And so the ego energy. And so whenever you feel trapped, it's an illusion. We can all choose to go in a new direction. We all have free will to break free from something toxic. And so somebody's in this illusion of feeling trapped in a codependent, unhealthy situation, been playing into all of these unhealthy patterns. And so I guess the only way to break those chains would be to take accountability for yourself, right? Accept responsibility for the situation and then make a different choice. Make a choice that's going to support your path to happiness. Release these addictions, release these unhealthy habits, these unhealthy people. I feel breaking the chains. And you can always work with Archangel Michael to help you cut any of these negative attachments. Yeah, it's time to break the chains of a very unwise, a very unhealthy choice. Somebody played into manipulation. They didn't have integrity in the past, and these questionable motives have gotten them stuck in the illusion of being trapped somewhere. So I think preparing to take accountability for making a bad choice, and that's how we learn. It's all about lessons. We all make some pretty poor decisions in our life, whether you're willing to admit it or not. I know I've not made the best decisions throughout my life, but I've learned from them, I've grown from them, and I've been accountable for the messes that I've kind of made in my own life. And so that's what it's about, finding the strength to take back your personal power, to stand up for yourself, to stand up for your beliefs, to assert yourself with compassion and kindness and forgiveness. I feel somebody is realizing now that they should have chose a different path. They're realizing, hey, I need to choose my battles wisely. And somebody is being challenged to stand in their power. And I feel they've been manifesting all kinds of challenges in their life because they've been in this consciousness of lack. They've been in this negative thought processing, which keeps manifesting all of these real life challenges with the wheel reversed. And so I think somebody will be reaching out. Somebody is in desperate need of healing. I think somebody is shifting their perception of a situation. They've been receiving insightful, intuitive messages, and maybe there's going to be some blunt, logical communication coming forward. I also feel somebody's been watching. The Page of Swords is my little spy card. So somebody could have been watching you on social media, really going within and not talking, trying to figure out how to bring these insights forward, facing all kinds of challenges, reviewing of the past, reviewing of, hey, how do I come forward with an offer? But I feel coming out of solitude, being that leader, that example for others is another thing we're all being asked to do as we go through stepping into our spiritual mentorship. Many of us are spiritual coaches, spiritual mentors, and as we go through this process of self-discovery, I think we're ending all of these challenging times, and we are about to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a brand new passionate beginning here, and a spiritual union trying to come in. So an amazing new opportunity, but you're going to have to be bold. You're going to have to be courageous. You're going to have to maybe take a risk, take a leap of faith. Now is the time to take action. So what is it that you're passionate about? Because I think somebody here is passionate about a romantic relationships and maybe resurging or regenerating, reviving something from the past, because the Archer has struck with that Sagittarius full moon. Cupid's arrows, like, that's your person. So I feel forgiveness will allow somebody to stop all of these challenges, and a love offer might be what is needed to stop the wheel from spinning you backwards. And this might mean bringing a gift forward, an exchange of some sort. But I think it's time to start planning for the long term. Long-term successes, long-term goals, long-term foundations. We're releasing these short-term karmic contracts. We're manifesting lifetime partnerships. So you get to decide what's next. We all have free will. You get to decide. What do you want for your life? Abundance from past choices are coming, but you got to master that lesson of commitment. And commitment always begins with self. So I think somebody here has been very patiently waiting for a cycle to come to a close. To embrace all of their accomplishments. This is a beautiful energy of spiritual enlightenment as well. Could be dealing with one of the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Those are some big energies coming through, but freedom. We all have the free will choice to be and do whatever it is that we want. So be proud of yourself. Be proud of the failures, because the failures lead you to the accomplishments and the growth and the expansion when we learn these lessons. So get ready for a huge release. This is the death energy, an ending that will lead to a beautiful new beginning. But what do you need to release when it comes to something that needs to be purged and cleansed? What needs to leave your life? Because something's been holding you back as part of this spiritual transformation, and something needs to be released before that brand new beginning can come in. So this is a lucrative time for sure. Where did that card go, guys? A lucrative time. Oh, I guess it was on the bottom of the deck, wasn't it? Of signing these higher contracts, these committed soul contracts. And so get ready for a brand new beginning. Maybe even an apology of some sort. That's not going to be for everybody, but somebody's coming into remembrance of their soul's plan, their soul's destiny, their service-based mission, and it's time. Tick-tock, time's up. So I feel like this ticking time bomb when it comes to something that needs to be expressed, and that's what I got, guys, for a message today. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. I can't believe we're at 50 freaking minutes, but wow. Beautiful message today, guys. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, keep in mind I have about 3 or 4 slots left available before I take summer break off with the girls. So you might want to reach out and get that booked in ASAP. Otherwise, I'm looking at booking people in September. So keep that in mind, guys. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.